Some of you may die. That is a willing
sacrifice.
A sacrifice.
What song was that from?
Shrek.
Oh yeah, Lord Farquaad.
Lord Farquaad.
I see
He
that.
hoofed and he puffed.
That's the pig in it.
Yeah.
I saw I can't remember what it was, like one of these like fan. I don't know what it's
fictions?
called. I don't know if it's called fan fiction or like theories about Disney
right.
films, and that was on it.
Yeah.
And there's a scene in it where he's having a little tug. You know when he's looking at
Yeah, when he's looking at Princess Fiona in the mirror.
and then he pulls the covers up when the cameras come in. Yeah, so yeah.
Do you know what? I always thought that. I always
never
thought like that's.
How old are you when you watch Shrek? Anyway, welcome back to the Sunday League Effect, people. Loads of new followers over the last week.
Yeah, I've noticed.
So
Doing
thank
well.
you guys. Obviously, people are telling their nans and grands.
And mans.
Yeah. But if you are new around here and you haven't already, please do like and subscribe, because we give you the weekly roundup of football world news.
Football Premier League news more than anything.
And also
in the world.
it's not that breaking either.
No, because
We
it's
do-
hard
we-
to do breaking news unless we did lives all the time.
We get up on a Wednesday, and by that time most people have already seen everything that's happened. So
Yeah.
But we do give you stats that I don't see anywhere else, so
No, it's very true.
that's
This is
something
very
you'll get.
true.
And also you'll get Nick, who's very good at pretending he knows what I'm talking about half the time. I watch these back when I edit, and Nick watches like no football, by the way, just a little bit of background
That's
into
not true.
Nick.
That's not true.
I think my wife watches more football than Nick.
That's a
Like, passively watches it.
absolute lie. Well, yeah, I mean, she's probably sat next to you doing it.
Yeah.
You have more free time than I do.
No, I don't. I have 3 kids and 1 on the way. No, I don't.
You hide at work.
Yeah, I hide at work. Yeah, that's different. Right. But today we're got something a little bit different because it was the FA Cup. We'll talk a little bit about some of the games, and then a little bit about something else, and then a little bit about something else. And the something else is I haven't prepared, so I'm hoping that we can just sort of.
Well, I've got a couple of bits.
Oh, cool. Oh, sweet. So
what I'm going to touch on. So just so you guys are aware of what you've got to look forward to.
Nick's touching you.
I have picked my 5 favourite goals of the season so far. I've also got some very interesting VAR error stats. So I've done a bit of research last night.
Right.
And I've got a bit of a breakdown. So you will see me looking through my phone at this because there's a lot.
He's playing Candy Crush.
But you'll see that the team that everyone seems to think gets the most VAR results isn't what you think it is.
What, the VAR works favourably for them?
Mm-hmm.
Who do people think that is?
Liverpool.
Yeah, that was one occasion. Do people actually think that they get...
Yeah, I see it all the time.
Oh, okay.
Anytime they get any sort of decision, whether correct or not. So what I've gone for, though, is minor errors. Minor things that are incorrect but have worked favourably for another team.
What are you basing... Oh, when we get to it, we'll talk about it, because my laptop's going to die, so we need to do this break
let's
first.
get started then.
But speaking of Liverpool, we'll talk about them being dumped. Kicked out of the FA Cup. Smashed by the struggling Plymouth.
They were sent to sea, weren't they?
Yeah. Oh.
Thank you.
So that is Liverpool's treble chances out the window.
Absolutely.
They were favourites for the FA Cup. They are favourites for the Carabao Cup. Still favourites for the Champions League and obviously
The
Premier League. Do you think, first of all, who's not who's to blame? Is there anyone to blame? Is the question here.
What for that game?
For the result? Yeah, because obviously he rotated because they've got Everton midweek. They had Newcastle at the week before.
I mean, you probably could blame Arnie and say that.
Do you though? Not could you? Do you?
So I don't blame him. I actually blame the players.
Yeah.
Because they've gone onto that pitch thinking this is Plymouth, bottom of the Championship, struggling.
If you look at the team, he made a load of changes. Yes, he left Salah, Van Dijk out of the squad.
But you're going to.
I don't have any problem with that. You're top of the Premier League. Are Plymouth still bottom of the Championship?
Yeah, and they're in the bottom 3.
Yeah, they've had a dreadful season. Like, it is 100% on the players, because I think looking at that team sheet, even though there's a lot of kids in it, they still should have enough to beat Plymouth. A struggling Plymouth.
There's plenty of quality in there.
Yeah.
What I don't get as well is you've got Luis Diaz just doing flicks and tricks down the wing.
It reminds me of when Anthony celebrated in that FA Cup game last year against like Morecambe or something when he scored. Like a penalty, he'd shushed the crowd, and I'm like, you're playing...
Morecambe.
It wasn't Morecambe, but it was someone like that. It was someone in the depths of the Football League.
But that's what I mean. Like, and I think they've gone in there with all this confidence that we are Liverpool.
The wrong mentality.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't blame Arne Slot because you are going to rotate players.
I think you had to. If you look at their fixture list, you obviously prioritise the Newcastle game. Yeah. So you play your strong players, then you rest this weekend because you can't. Alternatively, let's look at it this way. Let's say you played Van Dijk and Salah. Yeah. Salah or Van Dijk gets an injury, twisted ankle, broken foot,
hamstring,
out for 6-8 weeks. That's your and he's got Man City coming up. Obviously, you've got Everton. Yeah. You've got. Do they have? I don't know if they have Arsenal in that 8-week period, but you've got some crucial games coming up in the Premier League.
Oh, and there's a lot of games to be missing out on. Basically, your talisman.
Well, it's now the final stretch of the season. What are we in? Match week 22, something like that. Yeah. So there's not that long left. So he's right to make it at this point. Salah plays every game. Yep. Van Dijk's played every game. So you have to rest them at some point. You're not going to rest them in the first leg of the Champions League knockout stages when you get there. No. You're not going to rest them against Everton. You're not going to rest them in the second.
You're going to rest them against the easier teams you're going to play against.
Not Newcastle, it was Tottenham they played, sorry. Say again, sorry?
You're going to rest them against the
lesser teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
it's just standard, it's normal.
They had enough on the pitch to do it, but...
Yeah. Mentality from the players.
Mentality was poor from the players. Penalty, obviously, to Plymouth. Yep. Ryan Hardy, who is a football manager gem, if you ever play it. Cheap, bags goals, whatever league you get him in.
Weird.
The stats don't show it. He's one of the weird enigmas. On Football Manager, you get these weird players that just look dreadful, but he bags. He's a proper bagsman.
Just scores goals for fun.
And it was a good penalty, and he could have had another, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I didn't... Liverpool huffed and puffed. I think at the end, Nunes should have scored. Yeah. But how often do we say that? It's one of those. He's jumped quite high. I think the person behind him, I'm not too sure if it's Kwanzaa or someone else, was in a better position to nod it in.
But at this point, he needs goals.
Yeah, it was also the 95th minute or 96th minute, whatever time it was.
You're going to go for it.
Yeah, you're not listening. You don't have the awareness at that point. I think as a player, it's very hard for you to have that spatial awareness in those moments to be like, I'm going to let this run to the person behind me.
I think it's a lot about trying to take your chances because you know the clock's running out. Yeah. And unfortunately, it was the wrong decision, but it's what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But massive plaudits to Plymouth. They've knocked out Brentford last round. Mm-hmm. Now Liverpool. Guess what they got in the next round? Do you see?
No.
Man City. So Plymouth. Hopefully, it's an away day for Plymouth.
I hope they beat them.
I hope they beat them as well. And to be fair, speaking of Man City, we'll jump onto that now quickly. They were lucky against Leyton Orient.
Yeah.
Like I say, they were lucky. They bought on quality and they got the result in the end.
But they should have got that result a lot earlier in the game, I feel.
The goal from Leyton Orient was unreal. Jamie Donnelly on loan from Tottenham. Did you see it?
No.
Oh, mate, it was unreal. Was it? So whoever was in goal, Ortega again, it wasn't even him, I don't think. Someone's lost it in midfield, around the halfway line. Thought it was a foul. It wasn't a foul. And he's just chipped him from the halfway line. Like, worldy of a chip, hit the bar, hit the keeper and gone in. So it goes down as an own goal. But,
yes, I have seen that one. Because it bounced off his back heel or something like that.
And I was just like, that's going to ruin his day. He's going home telling everyone I scored this worldy. But then when he watches it back, he's like, well, I didn't. Shit. I hit the bar.
And then just happened. I meant to hit the keeper as well.
But Leyton Orient looked really good. See, Eddie Hearn was there.
No,
I think his dad must be a Leyton Orient fan because they're from the East End, didn't they?
Eddie Hearn's the world's strongest man, isn't he?
No.
Oh, sorry.
Eddie Hearn's the boxing promoter.
Yeah, sorry.
Eddie, who are you thinking of? Eddie something. Eddie Hall.
Yeah. Eddie Hall, yeah.
Not
sorry,
him.
Yeah.
Not him. He'd have to take like 4 seats out.
That's what I was literally going to say. How many seats did he take?
But yeah, De Bruyne and Rico Lewis, I think, got the goal. Rico Lewis's equaliser was a deflection that went in, and it was at that point, I think, City knew that
the luck was going to fall their way.
It was coming their way. It's one of those that if that doesn't go in, Leyton Orient probably win that game.
Yeah. I think it's very much like the Plymouth game.
Mm-hmm.
Plymouth, realistically, first half, were almost outplaying Liverpool. I felt every time, like it was very end to end.
It's one of those, like when you see and the same goes for Leyton Orient, I suppose. Obviously, Leyton Orient in League One though, or League Two.
League Two.
Are they?
I think they're that far down.
Wherever they are, they see the opposition. They see it's a rotated side, and that's a massive. The speech does itself. In the changing room, like the manager doesn't have to say, "Look at the team that they played. They don't really respect us.
No,
go and prove them wrong."
Yeah,
they're a bunch of kids or whatever. So I think
bully them.
It works for both teams. It can work for both teams, and obviously City had to rely on first team players to come on.
That's what I mean.
Make a difference. But they didn't look good. Like, I watched, because I had football, you had football as well, but you was at work, wasn't you?
Yeah, so I went and played after.
I watched like the first half before I went to football. And I was like, I didn't see anything from City. Like, Gundogan should have scored. Savino put a decent cross in, and I think the keeper made a good save. I can't remember who that was from.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was not as free-flowing as what I'd expect. I know Man City have struggled this year. We all know Man City have struggled. But against Leyton Orient, like, you thought... And, like, you just had the names. Gundogan was playing. Rico Lewis played. Savino played. Mamouche played. Like, they played a decent team. Because obviously Pep has nothing else to play for now. They're probably going to go out to the Champions League to Real Madrid.
I think for Plymouth as well, which is obviously concerning for me as a Watford fan, but I don't think we've got them again this season. But to go out and beat Liverpool, I can't see any reason why you're not going into your next championship match like you've won the FA Cup.
Well, the form was picked up since they got rid of Wazza, so
yeah.
I did tweet that out. Like, he should never manage again.
No.
Like, that's not anything against him. It's just like, you clearly can't do it.
Maybe he should go to United.
I think he should go backroom staff somewhere and learn the trade a bit more.
Well, he just can't do any worse at United, can he?
I think he could, mate. I got into it with someone in one of our comments about that. Did you see it?
Was that on YouTube, on Twitter?
On YouTube.
Yeah.
So
I was having a little look through it.
Yeah. So basically, what I said last week was Man United would probably be better off of keeping Ten Hag based on points. The point I was making is that it's points.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying the football will be better or long term they'd be better off, but I think
for this season,
as close to factually as we could be, and Ten Hag would have more points than what Amorim has, because he would have bent and folded to the players' wishes, which Amorim obviously isn't. That was the point I was making, not that he's a better manager. So before you start trying to slam me, watch the fucking podcast. Listen to the whole thing, because 15 seconds is to get engagement. It's exactly what it's aimed to do, but the next part, before you form your opinion and write some shitty message, is you click on it and watch what I'm actually saying or Nick's saying, because quite often what we're saying is the same thing. And negative always outweighs the positive, and it's the same in every walk of life. You can have 100 good days and one bad day. You remember that one bad day because you stubbed your toe or you fell down the stairs or your car wouldn't start. But you take for granted every day you didn't stub your toe, you didn't fall down the stairs, and your car did start. Did you watch the Chelsea-Brighton game?
I watched part of it.
The winning goal, Matoma. So I think Lamptey's on the floor and handballs it, and it goes to Matoma, who doesn't handball it. It looks like he does.
I didn't see the goal. That's why.
It doesn't. Matoma's one isn't a handball. It's before that. So that's a slight mistake there. But Brighton looked very good. So, but then Chelsea just aren't it at the minute. They struggled against us on Monday Night Football. If anyone that watched that was just after our last podcast, I think. But we recorded it before. Chelsea struggled there. They've been struggling since Christmas. Cole Palmer's not 100% fit. Nicholas Jackson is like a donkey at the minute. I know he didn't play against Brentford. I think Nkunku against Brighton. Sorry, I think Nkunku started. But if I'm a Chelsea fan, I'm looking at the promise that the season had before Christmas compared to now, and I'm like, we're going to win the Conference League.
Yeah.
As a Chelsea fan, I'm looking at it thinking that's not enough. As a West Ham fan, when we won it, that was awesome. But I'm a West Ham fan. We don't win things. Chelsea do. So you've gone from being in a title race, which Maresca said back then you weren't.
Yeah.
Obviously, he was right. He knew something we didn't.
He knew your form was going to drop off.
And now you're out of the FA Cup. So all you have to play for is top four and Conference League.
Yeah.
Is it?
I mean, Chelsea should win the Conference League.
They should be. They've won like every game by a canter, and especially now that teams don't drop out of the Europa League because of the new format. It is literally just the league system. Wherever you finish, you've played whoever you play,
like almost playoff sort of thing,
so it won't be, they won't face anyone good until like anyone more challenging until like the quarterfinals. But it's a bit of a question, I suppose, for Chelsea fans. Would that be a good season, finishing in the top 5 in Conference League?
I think if
like based off of how the season was going. So if I should begin the season, I think they probably would have snapped my hand off. It was unknown territory with Maresca,
and then they like started shooting up and getting all the like results they needed and things like that. They were flying high. And then like you said, their Christmas break and they've dropped off. And I'll be honest, I think Chelsea fans will be happy that they've won something, but this is a team that in the past has won things like the Champions League, has won the Premier League.
Yeah. It's a massive fall from grace to be celebrating the Conference League as your own only.
That's almost like winning the Premier League years gone by and then going down to League One and winning that.
I wouldn't say that much. I'd compare it
in European football, that's how it is.
Compared to Champions League, I would. Like, it's comparable.
But that's what I mean. So it's like Champions League.
Yeah.
And then the Conference League is League One of Champions League, isn't it?
It's the...
So, I mean, I'm not saying it's not best of the best, but it's the third best of the best.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so it's a good point. Because there's been so many changes at the top. I say at the top, or just below the top. So if you look at Tottenham years gone by, Chelsea recently, Man United recently, so those type of teams are
even Liverpool have had a change.
Yeah, but I know that was But there's so much chopping and changing from these teams that we didn't really see when they were at their peak. Obviously, Ferguson was at United for 20 odd years, 30 years, was he?
Wenger.
Yeah, Wenger was at Arsenal. Didn't want to go. Like, everyone wanted them to go, but he never did. Chelsea, even then, I know they've changed managers every like 3 or 4 years, but there was longevity to each reign.
They did about
slight longevity. There was like 2 or 3 years for each manager.
Yeah.
But now there's no consistency. It seems like no job's safe. So that as soon as there's a turn in fortunes and you start slipping up or not playing well, because it's so tight at the top, clubs aren't willing to give the managers the extra 3-4 games.
Yeah, the extra time, isn't it?
And whether that's right or wrong, it poses these questions that we ask, like, how long does Maresca really have? Like, is the Conference League and Champions League going to be good enough for Todd Bowley, who when he came in said he's impatient and wants success straight away?
And we've seen how impatient he can be.
And there's not a great pool of managers out there. Like, there's not. Like, the better managers are coming towards the end of their tenure, they're already in top jobs.
Yeah.
So who are you going to go and get?
I don't think there is a good quality manager out there at this point in time that would be able to do anything more than Maresca can do. I'm not saying that Maresca is a great manager that Chelsea should keep hold of, but realistically, who else do you get in instead that would be better?
Well, it's hard because I'm still not sold that Maresca is a better option than Pochettino. I've said it before.
Yeah, we discussed this last week.
That although Maresca's initial bounce for the team was far better than Pochettino's was more of a gradual increase and a gradual performance bettering, and you saw a bit of Tottenham as well. Like, it took a little bit of time to get there, but when it did, it was good football. And it wasn't successful at Tottenham because, it's Tottenham, but I had no doubt that it would have eventually at Chelsea if he was given the time. And whatever reason he left, I'm not too sure why he left. It was a bit of odd. It was odd.
I think it was sort of forced out the door, really.
I think, I'm not too sure. I don't think.
But I mean,
again, they finished the season well, and they got rid of him. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with Chelsea, because
I think end of the season, I think if things don't improve, there will be changes. I think they'll give him till the end because we are this far.
They're not going to sack him. That wasn't what I was getting. I was more looking at like a summer change.
What I mean is, even if he wins the Conference League and hits Champions League, I think I just don't know if I could see Todd Bowley going, that's good enough. I could see him just going, I'm sorry, but
I think based off previous decisions at Chelsea, it's hard to argue with it.
Yeah,
I don't think that'd be the right decision at all. But because, like you say, who's out there that's going to be improvement, and also the relationship that he's built with the players.
Yeah, at Chelsea, don't you want someone who's
you want a name almost?
Well, it's not that. I was thinking more like someone who's used to the Premier League, like someone who's done it.
Well, Maresca didn't. Well, he'd been around the Premier League though, actually, because he was at West Ham as a number 2, and I think he was at City or something as well.
This is what I mean. Like, I feel like if they're going to get someone in, they need someone who already has Premier League experience, because
I think when with managers personally, I think Premier League experience is overrated. It's like when you apply for a job and it says previous experience needed. It's not needed, because if you look at Areola at Bournemouth, Thomas Frank, Brentford. Although I posed the question last week, he's still got to be in and around there. Ursula.
Yeah. Okay.
Deserved when he was there. Like, there are. I mean, for every name that I'm giving you, there's a
Pep.
Pep, yeah. But there's a name for every name that I've just said. There's a name you could throw that has experience, that done well.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes I think coming from outside perspective helps a little bit more in that you get new ideas, whereas you don't have the predetermined understanding of how things work, so you don't fall into a box.
Yeah, you don't fall into the bad habits of everybody else.
You come with fresh ideas and fresh systems, like Graham Potter did when he came to Brighton. He came from Osterstons or whatever it was, and he was playing some mad, fluid, changeable, shifting team that would line up as like a 3-5-2, but it would shift, and you'd have your wingers playing as like left fullbacks at times, and your striker dropping in, and the whole team would like rotate. And it worked
he tried
really
that
well.
at Chelsea. I could imagine it being that an outside manager may actually do better. To contradict myself from earlier, I know.
I've just sold you the dream.
No, but what I mean is this season, because of how different the football's been this season in regards to results, teams that are
this
up
season
there.
was a massive shift. If you look at like Man City's the prime example.
Yeah,
how can they piss the league for 4 years?
And now all of a sudden,
the massive drop off that's happened. Did you watch the Newcastle Birmingham game?
No.
Newcastle Birmingham, great game. One very good advert for the FA Cup. This round actually was the first time in years where I've watched FA Cup games and I've enjoyed them.
Okay.
Because years gone by, City would beat Leyton Orient 8-0. Yeah. Liverpool beat Plymouth 2-0 with the reserves. All these games would be
the top tier teams would win easily.
Maybe Southampton would still lose to Burnley, but no one really watched that. Who would watch Burnley against Southampton? Burnley have the best defensive record and still sit third in the Championship, and Southampton are just useless. No one chose to watch that game unless you're a fan of one of those clubs.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the Newcastle Birmingham game, great advert for both League One and the Premier League. Newcastle rotated and just about got through thanks to a dreadful decision. So Newcastle went 1-0 down. Mm-hmm. The equaliser's given. Obviously, no VAR, no goal line technology. There is goal line technology in the FA Cup, but because it was a League One team, there's no goal line technology in League One.
Because so I'm guessing they're playing at Birmingham.
Yeah, at Birmingham. Newcastle playing decent football. The ball comes in from the left, hits the bar, bounces, and the linesman gives it as a goal, which is fine if the linesman's in line and can see it's gone over the line. But he isn't. He's behind play, so it's hit the crossbar and it's bounced, and the linesman's just catching up with it as it hits the line.
Yeah.
So there's no way he can know. And there's a player in front of him. There is no way he can turn around and be like, oh, 100%, I think that's gone over. He's guessed. So he's given it as a goal. And whether it went over or not is completely redundant because he guessed. Wasn't in. And it didn't go over, by the way, which makes it even worse.
How are you a professional linesman, referee, fourth official?
Yeah.
Not able to keep up with play?
Well, I think the keeping up with play thing I can let go because it was quite a quick break. And also, if the ball's travelling, he's looking at the last line of defence. He's not necessarily looking at the ball.
Yeah, okay. All right,
right. But my issue is you can't be wrong if you say, I can't be 100% sure if it went over.
No.
I don't know. Like, people might be like, you should be up to play. But we'll be like, okay, yeah, that's fair enough. But I don't know. I can't give it because I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
You cannot give that goal unless you are 100% certain it's bounced over the line. Which there is no physical way of anyone knowing from the position that he's in.
Apart from the keeper.
Yeah. Is it PG Remote that still looks after all refs?
Yeah.
Like, if I'm them, I'd be pulling him in and be like, what is your decision making here? Because, again, it doesn't matter if it goes over or not. Yeah. The fact is, he can't be the one making the decision because he's not in line.
No. In amateur level, they will come over and talk to us. Why can't they do that in professional? Well, that's my point.
And you're so right, because the ref, again, should be asking the questions of the linesman. Are you 100% sure? Because obviously the ref's in charge. These are assistants. They don't make decisions. They tell the ref what they think.
They're literally called assistant referees.
He doesn't have to go with what they say. So he shouldn't just be going like, okay, cool, you said it's a goal. Yeah. But unless you're standing on the post, you can't give it. You just can't. So the Birmingham fans will feel aggrieved. Equally, Birmingham scored an absolute worldie. Old Celtic player, Iwata. Absolute worldie. If VAR was there, they probably would have disallowed it for a Birmingham player standing in front of the goalkeeper. So, swings and roundabouts. Not much to say about that. Very good game. It was a good game. And I wasn't expecting it to be, which made it even better. Burnley beat Southampton.
Yeah, I did see that. Don't care.
Was it at Southampton? I don't even know. Was it at Burnley? All right. Fulham beat Wigan, and the last one I want to talk about quickly, I've not got it written down, is Man United against Leicester. Okay. So that was the Friday night game. Dreadful decision again. Last minute winner from Harry Maguire. Yeah. A yard offside. Linesman's in line with them. 3 players offside. Mm-hmm. How he's not given that, I don't know. But maybe he's gone with a side of caution that the other player the other one in the Newcastle game didn't. He's gone, I don't know. I I can't be 100% sure he was offside.
I can't
But
call it.
then I think linesmen are meant to put their flag up if they're not 100% sure.
Again, going back to my one.
Yeah.
You flag it if you're not sure.
Yeah.
Then the ref comes and talks to you. What's meant to... Well, I don't know in the professional game if that's what's meant to happen, because obviously...
It does happen, though. You see it.
But, yeah. So, surely you would go err on the side of caution, flag it.
Well, I think because it was last minute, it's almost like he's panicked.
It's gone...
Like one of those, he's looking across, but he's not looking at the game. He's thinking about his beer he's going to have afterwards.
Yeah.
Like, I can't wait. This has been dreadful.
Oh, shit, ball's gone in.
Oh, God.
Yeah, goal. Fine.
But, yeah, United are in the draw. I don't actually know who they have in the next round, because... West Ham are out, so I've not paid massive attention.
Yeah, Watford are out as well.
Yeah, so the FA Cup weekend is just another week that Graham Potter gets to teach West Ham how to defend. Yeah. I had a dream last night that West Ham played a game against, I don't know who it was. I think it was Chelsea, and they won 19-18.
That's the worst defensive performance of two teams ever.
But mate, I don't know what it was. I don't know. I'm going mad.
19-18, Jesus.
Just a quick preview.
Yeah, we can go through
a couple of games.
I'll let you lead into it, because I haven't looked into it, because I was doing all my research for the goals.
So Leicester have got Arsenal.
I mean, that's an easy one for Arsenal.
It is an easy one, but saying that, but I think Arsenal will win that with a canter. Man City Newcastle is a big game.
Is it at Newcastle?
It's at City.
I mean, not
City obviously
matters.
have a massively congested February with the Champions League, including Real Madrid, Arsenal, and Liverpool. So if you put Newcastle on top of that, City have a very crucial month here.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see how they get on tonight against Real Madrid.
I can't see him getting a result against Real Madrid.
I was talking about Newcastle. I was going to go into Newcastle. I'm not too sure about tonight against Real Madrid, to be honest.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
But I'm not. No, go on. I'm not. I looked at the teams and I was like, Real Madrid have a much better team. I went player for player, and I was like, no, they don't. But even in the current, no, they don't.
But they've got like two of the world's best players.
Who?
Mbappe and Bellingham.
Oh God. Fucking hell.
I can't wait for Bellingham to just score a blinder against
your team, De Bruyne or Bellingham?
De Bruyne.
Well, there you go. They're going to line
but
up
De
opposite each
Bruyne's
other.
like proven.
Exactly.
Bellingham's young and
Overrated.
I agree. I do agree that he's overrated. I do believe that he has a high ceiling.
Oh yeah, no, I've never said that he's not a good player. What I've said is that he isn't where people think he is.
No.
So people make out he's like Ronaldo or Messi.
I think they want him up there though because he's an English player, which is, we know we do it with Rashford.
Yeah, we do it all the time. But
Yeah,
I fancy Newcastle to get something, get away to City.
so do I.
I'll go cautiously with a point, but I think Newcastle might be favourites for me.
I would say with previous results, how the teams are doing, I would say that Newcastle definitely will. At this point in time, in form-wise, they are the stronger team.
Well, you say that they weren't because they lost 2 in a row in the Premier League before that game against Arsenal. But it just makes me wonder, were they prioritising the Carabao Cup, or were their eyes on that game?
I mean, they're not going to win the league, are they?
No,
realistically,
they're very good chance of winning the Carabao Cup, especially with Liverpool having their eyes on other prizes.
Yeah.
But anyway, Southampton, Bournemouth.
Yeah.
6-0.
You reckon that much?
No, but Southampton are so bad.
I reckon
Their manager is mental as well. Like, I think he's mentally ill. Like, he just looks crazy. Not Bournemouth's manager, Southampton's. I don't know his name. Katic? I might have made that up. Satic?
I don't know, mate. I'll go with a 3-0 for that.
Yeah, Bournemouth are chasing European football. Southampton are closing in on that.
But like,
11-point record of Derby.
Have you seen Scary Movie? Like the films. Yeah. Do you remember the one where one of the Wayans brothers gets dragged under the bed by that scary clown?
Yeah, the clown, yeah.
That's what I imagine is happening to Southampton right now.
Who's the scary clown?
Championship.
Southampton have conceded 1.9 goals per home game.
Jesus.
Whereas Bournemouth have struggled a bit with 0.8 goals scored per away game. But since the new year, since obviously we gave them their stats, they've started hitting the net a bit more. So
You're welcome, Bournemouth fans.
Tottenham United. There's some good fixtures this weekend. Tottenham United relegation doubleheader. I think Tottenham beat them. Even with no defence.
I say this in the hopes that I'm completely wrong, but I reckon it's going to be a really dull 1-1.
Yeah.
I think it's just going to be dreadful, and it's going to be 1-1.
I think First of all, again, I sent a tweet out which got loads of interaction because people are so thick that they don't actually think about what is being said. They just think, oh, I disagree with that, you're wrong.
Yeah.
He's bought a left winger and he's put him on the right-hand side to carry on playing a right-footed right wing-back as a left wing-back so they can play inverted. So, Amorim, I'm not a manager, but he's playing double inverted players. He's playing an inverted fullbacks and inverted wingers. So the massive benefit of playing with 5 at the back or 3 across the midfield is that you get width. He's negating that by getting them all to go inside.
Yep. I agreed with your tweet.
Yeah, it's just,
100% agreed with it.
So I understand what an inverted fullback is. I know what an inverted fullback is. He doesn't have to be left-footed on the right-hand side to be an inverted fullback because Pep's done it for years. Kyle Walker played inverted from the right-hand side. Yep. Before that, you had what's his name? Way back, he had Kolarov, who was left-footed, left inverted. Then he had Zinchenko. Like, you don't have to be the opposite foot to play inverted. You just don't. As a professional footballer anyway, you should be able to use both feet. Yeah,
you might be better with one than the other, like most, but you can use both better than most can use their good foot.
Yeah. But I've got a bit annoyed there, sorry. But the key players for United is Bruno needs to be playing in that 10 role. He can't play holding next to Ugarte. He can't play there.
I must have watched that United Leicester. Did he play against?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I must have watched that because I remember seeing him and I'm like, why is he sitting in front of Maguire? Yeah. What is that?
Ugarte's workload doubles because Bruno can't make a tackle like Ugarte can, even like Mainu can.
No.
Like his positioning isn't.
He can foul.
Yeah, his positioning isn't as good. He doesn't have the desire to win those tackles back like they do. He's much better in the final third. He is a progressive footballer that wants to play higher up to play those crucial killer balls, which he tries far too often from stupid places. Don't get me wrong, but he can't play there. So play him as a 10. If you're going to play him constantly, which Amorim clearly is, play him as a 10. Then equally swap Dalot and whoever their new player is onto the actual side. It was just so against Leicester, first half DODGY played and he looked actually really good.
Yeah.
But so many times he got down the right hand side, he had to cut back onto his left because he's left footed. So if it was Dalot, he wouldn't have to. He could just put it in. And then equally, Dalot has done the same on the other side all fucking season.
Just cutting back in to go back on your strong foot.
It's not rocket science. It's really not.
And you get caught out on that so easy.
Yeah.
Like,
well, because they want to play so high, they're constantly running back the other way, chasing players, but they're wrong-footed. So they can't make the tackle. Yeah. But anyway, Tottenham to win that. United, sort yourself out. Amorim, you'd let me down, to be honest. I called you the saviour a few weeks ago. Now I'm shouting at you. I'm not even a United fan. Don't even care. Fuck it.
That makes it better.
Yeah. Aston Villa, Ipswich.
Aston Villa.
I actually think that's going to be a draw.
You think? Yeah. Although Villa's form's sort of dropped off a little bit, hasn't it? Really.
They beat Tottenham in the FA Cup, obviously. So Ange's win something in his second season. You're looking like an absolute.
You wait till he comes out. I meant my third season.
Watch him win the Carabao Cup, the Europa League or something. I mean, they're not going to, but Villa looked very good. But they got the early goal. They get early goals so often. And Tottenham didn't really do anything.
No.
Rashford made his debut. Asensio made his debut. They did all right. I'm interested to see which Rashford turns up and also how Asensio can affect the Villa team because he's a very good footballer, but I feel Asensio's not the
right fit
for the Premier League, not necessarily for Villa. I just don't think
he's quite tricks and flicks from what I saw.
He's similar to Dani Ceballos at Real Madrid when he was on loan at Arsenal. So he'll play centre mid today for Real Madrid.
Yeah,
I think he's going to start. He is a quality footballer, very technical, very good on the ball, but physically I don't think he's suited to the Premier League, which is why the loan move to Arsenal never really worked out.
Yeah,
because very similar player to Odegaard in terms of stylistically and even build, but Odegaard plays that further forward and also he's a little bit quicker.
And he's also more physical. Yeah. Like Odegaard knows what the Premier League's about.
Asensio, again, is a similar mould. I don't think he's physical enough already for the physical challenges of the Premier League. I could be wrong. He was a player I loved a few years ago at Real Madrid. Not seen much of him at PSG, but it'll be interesting to see if this gamble from Villa in terms of the amount of wages they're paying pays off. And selling Duran as well, like it's a massive risk because they've only got Ollie Watkins, who's I believe injured now.
Is he injured?
He pulled his hamstring or groin.
Oh, I did see that.
I don't know if he played against Tottenham, to be honest. I was at the pub with my eldest, so I wasn't really watching it.
Yeah.
And there is a space for Rashford in that team if he can get his performances high again.
But if he can go back to what he was, but...
I'm just dubious as to whether he can.
Yeah.
Whether he wants to, whether the desire is there still. Yeah, like he's a multi-millionaire. He's got a lot of stuff going on outside of football. Does he really care anymore?
Doesn't really need it now, does he? Doesn't need the money.
It's the same question we pose about all footballers when they get to a certain level. Like, do they... Like, you expect them to care as much as we do as the watching match-going fans or TV-watching fans, but fundamentally they don't.
You don't find that anymore.
Yeah, we look forward to football from the Saturday just gone to next day, all week.
Yeah.
You'll look forward to Saturday football, Sunday football, whatever you play it, watch it, or listen to it, whatever you do. They don't. Like, loads and loads of players just don't care. It's a job to them. And it's just like, well, if I don't perform this week, there's always next week.
I wonder if we would have thought like that.
To be fair, I do sometimes with my Saturday team.
Yeah, but that's because you run with children.
Yeah. So
for you, it's you're there as a responsible one. So when you go to play out on a Saturday, you're going there as the responsible.
I care when I'm playing, but I mean, once I finish playing, it's gone. It's done.
Well, it doesn't bother me anymore.
You wanted to talk about your favourite goals.
Right. So my goals of the season so far.
Yep.
Now, I didn't actually quite realise how many good goals we've had this season.
Was Garnacho's overhead kick this season?
No.
Was it not?
No.
Go on then.
So,
say the player first and I'll see if I can remember it.
Do you want me to say the player in the game?
Yeah.
Okay, so it was Belieber versus Fulham.
No. Oh, yeah, from like 40 yards.
No.
No.
So, Pereira versus Man City.
Who?
Pereira? Is that how you say
what, for Leicester?
For Wolves.
Pereira?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, is it João Pereira? I don't even know who that is.
It's definitely there.
Okay.
Again, I think it was Jimenez.
No, Jimenez plays for
Not Jimenez. No, I don't know why I said Jimenez.
Cunha. It always got something to do with something good at Wolves.
So it was a lovely backheel flick.
Right.
Literally, just...
Did it not bounce over the player?
Yeah.
Are you sure it's not Fulham? Yeah, it is Fulham, because it was Jimenez. Backheeled it to
yes, it was.
Pereira.
Sorry, I don't know what... It's Wolves, I've said, because he's Mexican.
Yeah, and he played for Wolves.
Garnacho versus Leicester. So this one was literally outside the box. Just curled it in the top right. It was...
I don't remember that goal.
So he's on the left-hand side...
When was it? Would you have the dates?
I don't have the dates, no. He's on the left-hand side of the box. He's just cut in from the wing like he does, and he's just...
It was left foot?
No, right foot.
Oh, okay. I do know which one you're talking about, actually.
Yeah, and he's just curled it lovely in. Calafiori.
Oh, the one he didn't mean?
He meant it.
Is it the one he didn't mean?
Against Man City?
Yeah, he didn't mean that.
Yeah,
he didn't mean that. He's crossing that ball.
Outside the box, first time finish.
He's crossing the ball, he mishits it. I don't care what anyone says.
No. I had to throw him in here. Chris Wood.
Which one?
Against Everton.
He scored so many, I can't remember it.
So, ball's been pinged down.
Yeah.
Chris Wood headers it to... I can't remember his name.
Gibbs White? Elanga? Hudson-Odoi?
No.
Anderson?
It was someone tall and black.
Hudson-Odoi?
Okay.
I
can find it,
Fine.
but I didn't put who assisted him.
Fine.
But then he's headed it back to Chris Wood, and then Chris Wood's just dinked it over the keeper.
I do know this goal. VAR decisions, you got them as well.
Did you not pick any goals?
No, mate, I didn't have time.
No, that's fine. Right, so the VAR decisions. So this is from a very trusted website.
Sport Bible.
Oh, it's definitely not them. If the numbers were... Like, if it was only bare numbers for the VAR, like sort of what's right and what's wrong, they've done better this season than they've done last season.
Well, in terms of correct calls?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I've actually got from 22 to 23, 23 to 24, and 24 to 25.
Okay, so 3 seasons.
3 seasons, the last, after 19 rounds. So
up to this point of 3 seasons?
Yeah.
Okay, cool, yeah, that makes sense.
So, they've intervened, in 22-23, they intervened 57 times. 6 incorrect, 17 missed, and 23 errors. After 19 match days.
23 errors of VAR?
Yeah.
So VAR made 23 errors?
Yeah.
Wow.
They also missed 17.
How do you miss it? That's your job.
Well, don't worry. They stayed consecutive.
We say VAR, by the way, like it's a system. It's not. These are people. Like I'm blaming people fundamentally.
Yeah,
it's
not an automatic.
Yeah, the virtual assistant referee. That's what VAR is. It's not a technological development. It's just another video.
Yeah. So it's just someone who's watching a replay at home. Yeah. It's basically what I could do and what we do all the time.
Yeah.
In 23-24, intervened 54 times, 3 incorrect, 17 missed again, 20 errors.
So 3 incorrect. So no, 3 errors. What does that mean? What do you mean by 3 errors?
So errors is where I'm not.
Is that the ref making an error and they've corrected them?
No. So I think that's the incorrect. So the incorrect stat is where the refs made the call.
Oh, okay. And they got asked to go to the...
Yeah.
Right, so the 3 wrong, or whatever it is.
The 3 incorrect would be from the referee's perspective, whereas the errors from VAR who've looked at it...
And gone, yeah, it's fine.
Fine. No, it's not.
Okay.
Whereas the incorrect are agreeing with the on-field.
Oh, so the 3 corrections are correcting the ref?
Yeah.
Incorrectly or correctly?
Incorrectly.
Okay, so they've asked the ref to go to it when they shouldn't have, basically.
Pretty much. And then 24-25, 57 intervened as well. 3 incorrect again. Only 7 missed and only 10 errors so far. So there is improvement, which is good. And then...
Why have we still not got the semi-automated offsides? Why are we waiting still? It's been ages. Like, you'll see it tonight. If someone's offside, we'll know instantly watching the Real Madrid Man City game. Like, it won't take 40 minutes.
Yeah, but it's just people don't want too much change. I think that's what it is. I think they're too worried about throwing all the technology in all at once and then it not working.
But it's needed. It is needed.
Do you want to know who has come across the most VAR mistakes this season so far?
Going against them?
Yeah.
I'm going to guess Wolves.
No.
Wolves was last year, but go on then.
Across VAR mistakes.
Is it not being... They've fallen foul to VAR mistakes?
Yeah, they've fallen foul.
Tottenham?
No. There's 3 teams.
Go on.
Brentford, United, and West Ham.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with 2 each.
We're just well shit, so I don't even notice.
Liverpool aren't the top
for
VAR decisions to work in their favour. It is Newcastle with 10.
10? Mm-hmm. Well, they shouldn't have got.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
10 VAR decisions. That doesn't mean goals.
Yeah, also, it's hard to see how impactful each one of those instances are, so it could happen when they're already like 3-0 up.
Yeah, exactly that. So it could be something like giving a penalty...
Yeah, not yet.
Yellow cards, red cards, sorry.
Yeah.
That is all I'll do on VAR because I feel like I'm going to fall into a rabbit hole of real confusion for most, including myself, really.
You confused me already, mate.
Well, basically, Newcastle have the best results for VAR.
Yeah.
West Ham, Brentford and Manchester United have the worst.
So West Ham should be higher in the league is what you're saying?
Yeah, mate, absolutely.
I'll take it. But
you need a boost of something.
Exactly. We've rambled on for long enough, I reckon.
Did your laptop die there?
No.
It's legend, mate.
But thank you guys for sticking around. We'll be back next week. More about the Premier League. Obviously, these weeks are a little bit more difficult, bit harder to do.
Yeah,
because we don't want to delve in. I don't want to run through 47 FA Cup games.
It would take so long.
Especially, like I said, especially when West Ham on it. I know that's selfish.
Everybody who gives you shit or gives me shit or disagrees or agrees, we are football fans of a team.
Yeah.
Apart from those random people that like change because they're like glory hunters.
Yeah. I wish I could change.
I do change all the time.
But thank you for sticking around, guys. Like and subscribe if you haven't already.
And hit the bell.
Notification bell, and you'll get notifications when we upload videos, and loads of shorts as well. We try and get out a few shorts for you. Our socials are all below, so do go and follow us on Twitter or X, TikTok, Instagram. And hopefully chat to you guys there. If you want to speak to us at any point, just drop us a comment in this video. Any of our shorts, any of our socials, anything you want us to touch on, especially if you feel that your team's been aggrieved by something, and you want us to have our opinion on it, just let us know. And if you really don't agree with us, comment as well, because I like them discussions. Mike does like those discussions, but come with some facts, because I have facts. All right, he's a factician. That makes it sound fake. Anyway, thank you. Like, subscribe. Take care. Have a good week. Peace. Doesn't stop children believing in the Tooth Fairy, does it?
The